A big reason behind Mel Brooks's popular appeal, aside from the slapstick comedy, clever jokes, sexual innuendos, cliches, double entendres, and most notably, the audible farting, was that his films spoke to prevalent social issues that were occurring at his time. Albeit it was done in jest and with heavy satire, but Mel Brooks was able to bring about social issues to light and then laugh about them. For example, in the opening scene of his most famous film, Blazing Saddles, the town welcomes in their new sheriff and is then appalled that their new sheriff is African American. The N-word is then dropped repeatedly. The sheriff then holds himself hostage in order to alleviate the tension. This is shot only a decade after the Civil Rights Movement, with high racial tensions and the emergence of the taboo behind saying the N-word, and Brooks brought it out into the open and poked fun at it. In his next acclaimed film, which ironically the lead actor Gene Wilder began to come up with during the filming of Blazing Saddles, was Young Frankenstein. For this film, Brooks and co-writer/star Gene Wilder took on James Whales's 1931 version of Mary Shelley's horror classic and the sequel, The Bride of Frankenstein. After opening credits in German blackletter, evoking all the post-1930s monster thrillers from Universal Studios, they add in the elements of classic screwball comedy. The romantic triangle, wherein the engaged couple at the start of the film isn't the same as the pair at the end. The clip that I chose was towards the beginning of the film, where Dr. Frankenstein meets Igor for the first time. Frankenstein corrects the pronunciation of his name by saying it's Frankenstein, and then awkwardly asks Igor if he would like to remove the hump on his back, to which Igor replies, "What hump?" Although it hasn't as many roof-raising jokes as Blazing Saddles, it is funnier over the long run because it is more disciplined. The anarchy is controlled. Brooks sticks to the subject, recalling the cliches of horror films of the 1930s. That's partly because the very genre that he's poking fun at gives him a strong narrative that he can play against. His targets, Frankenstein and The Bride of Frankenstein, the first being the most influential, and the second probably the best of the 1930s Hollywood horror movies. Brooks uses carefully controlled black and white photography that catches the feel of the earlier films, which makes the film look right and makes it even funnier. I learned that not only was Mel Brooks a brilliant comedian and filmmaker, but he used his comedic genius to bring light to various social issues and created a whole new genre of comedic parodies.